P.O.L.
Yo, what up everyone? It's IntraVenus here, back with another episode from P.O.L. Gamer View and P.O.L. Music. If you wonder why I say P.O.L. Music at the beginning of all these, stick around till the end and you'll hear a clip of my music at the end of every video. I do music as well, and you can check it out on any music streaming platform. Just check out IntraVenus. This is another PS2 Gems episode. I don't need to go into the spiel, but I don't call them hidden gems for a reason.
They're not hidden.
There you go. In this episode, we're going to do first-person shooters. Yes, this is our first Gems episode based upon first-person shooters, and we have 5 great games. One I didn't really like, but it's great to everyone else apparently. So, without further ado, let's get into this episode involving 13. Warhammer 40,000, Fire Warrior. Deus Ex, The Conspiracy. Darkwatch. And Serious Sam, Next Encounter. Stick around, y'all. Let's get into it, right? Alright, first off, let's talk about Serious Sam. Serious Sam, I was capturing footage for when my PlayStation 3 died. I don't think it's powerful enough to kill my PlayStation 3, it was just a coincidence. Don't worry everyone, if you want to play Serious Sam on your PlayStation 3 and it can handle it, go right on ahead. This is Serious Sam Next Encounter. It had online broadband accessibility for online play, powered by GameSpy. Does anyone remember GameSpy? Most of you probably don't. Climax, it's also Global Star Software. The Serious Sam games are interesting. This is the only one that I've played, but I know there's several. Serious Sam Next Encounter is a first-person shooter that is very much like an arcade shooter. In fact, I think a Serious Sam game would make a great light gun game. If they made a Serious Sam that was based on light guns, it would be awesome and very similar to the actual gameplay. I don't know if they have, they probably haven't, but you never know. Usually when someone thinks of something, someone else has also thought of it. Serious Sam The Next Encounter is really fun. I did not do the first 40 minutes on this, partially because my PS3 died at 31 minutes in the recording, but also because it's a little repetitive. This game, like I said, it's like an arcade shooter. Every level and instances of levels, every corner, you just have characters spawning and running at you, spawning and running at you, spawning and running at you, and then you kill them, and then there's new characters to spawn and run at you, and there's all these people running at you at once, characters, creatures, and you have to kill them all before you move on to the next section. Let's see what the back has to say. For Serious Sam Next Encounter, over 40 vibrant levels spread across 3 ancient time periods. A huge arsenal of weapons for Sam to use against Mental's minions. An abandoned mothership of Syrian origin is sending strange signals from the past, and there's only one man with the guns big enough to travel back in time and investigate. That's Serious Sam. If Mental's mutated forces get to this powerful time-traveling artifact before Sam, it's last call for humanity. This is serious. Get behind the wheel of some serious vehicles to run down your opponents and go online and rack up the frags in 8-player death matches. Yes, this supports 1 to 2 players, but it also supports up to 8 players network. This was one of these games back in the day. You know, when I think of PS2, it's probably because I didn't have the money to support something. My family wasn't in the tax bracket to be able to play online for PlayStation 2 games. In fact, I probably picked up the PlayStation 2 towards the end of its life cycle. That's when I could afford it. But I never really thought about PlayStation 2 as an online deathmatch type of console. You know, Xbox was always on the mind. This is really cool. I suggest you check out Serious Sam, especially if you like arcade games. Next up we have Darkwatch from Capcom. This is one of my favorite games from this selection. It was really fun. Also similar to an arcade shooter. It's very arcadey, but there's a little more to it than Serious Sam. It's got a little more story. It's It's got a little more everything. And this game actually reminds me, you know, Darkwatch, this character could play in a Spawn comic. I feel like he would really fit into the Spawn Todd McFarlane universe. Darkwatch, I think, should be re-released as a remaster. You know, a simple remaster, just to cut out the blurry lines, make everything really smooth. Could be on the Nintendo Switch, as they're dropping all these old first-person shooters on there. This is Darkwatch from Capcom and High Moon Studios. Let's check out the back. For centuries, the Darkwatch has protected the world from evil. Now, as Jericho Cross, you must join this secret society to save humanity and yourself. Death fears those who wear the badge. Powerful weapons, each with unique secondary melee attack. Fire at enemies from horseback or armored vehicles. Two-player split-screen co-op. Dynamic enemy and NPC AI. Your decisions determine the path of good or evil. That's right, there are decisions for you to either save people, like repent their souls, or you can consume them as a vampiric entity if you want to be evil. When I was playing this game, I decided to be good the whole time. I did put out the first 40 minutes of this one. This is one of my favorite games on the PlayStation 2. Now, I might have 50 favorite PlayStation 2 games, so don't get too excited, but this is in there. This is one of my favorite games, so when I do the first 40 minutes, it means that I really enjoyed it. If I don't do the first 40 minutes, it means I didn't really like it enough. Serious Sam just missed out on that. Darkwatch, very worthy. I suggest you take it. You pick it up. You go buy it. Don't take it. Please don't take it. Just buy it. Next, we have Deus Ex, The Conspiracy from Eidos, or Eidos. I feel like I heard someone say Eidos recently. I've always said Eidos, E-I-D-O-S. Eidos Interactive. This game is the game that I mentioned at the beginning that a lot of people, in fact, if you look this up online, it's got almost a perfect score. But there's a lot of nostalgia involved there, I think. This was originally a PC game that was then ported to the PS2. They also had it on the Mac, and they eventually put it on the PS3 too, possibly as just a download. I'm not sure if they did a physical copy. But this game, the graphics are bad, the voiceovers are bad, the controls are bad. I'm sorry, y'all, but maybe it's just first impressions aren't doing too much for this one for me, but I actually turned it off after about 15 or 20 minutes. No lie. This game wasn't for me. And it may be for you, it may not be. This is the only one in this that is really like an RPG in these 5 games. This is like an RPG first person. It mixes a lot of things. Let's read the back, okay? Game of the Year is awarded by over 40 top magazines and websites. Like I said, a lot of people like this game. Immerse yourself in a realm of unparalleled interactivity that tightens its grips on you the closer you get to its core. Critically hailed as one of the best games of all time, Deus Ex draws you into a doomed world of chaos and paranoia. As civilization nears collapse, a conspiracy bent on world domination emerges from the shadows of legend. The conspirators' greatest strength? No one believes they exist. No one but you. Eliminate, elude, or extract information from those who hunt you down using stealth strategy or sheer firepower. Will you be the charismatic master manipulator, the shrewd tactician, or the deadly avenging angel? This is the one-player game, and it is a rehash, a remake, a re-release of the original Deus Ex game for the PC. I didn't like it at all. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't like it. I know somebody's gonna be mad at me for that. Next up, we have Warhammer 40,000 Fire Warrior. I think this might have been the first-person shooter variant of Warhammer 40,000 series, or the Warhammer in general. I know there are first-person games in the Warhammer series since then. They are based a little more around magic. It's almost like a first-person Diablo or something along those lines. Very similar to Elder Scrolls. Well, this is about guns. Guns and a certain area of timeline for the Warhammer 40,000 series. Fire Warrior, also available to play online. Let's check out the back. In the 41st millennium, there's only war. Warhammer 40,000 Fire Warrior follows one day in the tumultuous life of Kai, a young Tau warrior who must battle along against a force that shows no mercy, the Imperium of Man. Kai will soon learn that there is a darker foe at hand and becomes entangled in a terrifying story that leads him through an ongoing war. Yes, this includes online support with deathmatch, team deathmatch, and capture the flag. It did anyways. Intense first-person action across 21 levels. Survive a 24-hour descent into chaos. Encounter treachery, betrayal, and horror. This is 1 to 8 players multiplayer. It supports the multi-tap, network adapter, and online from THQ, Kuju, powered by GameSpy, and also, what was it, the Games Warehouse Interactive. It's still, so you can't even read it on the back, but you'll see it in the beginning of the footage there. This was a really fun game. In fact, I'm so disappointed that my I captured the original footage in this. This is a 40-minute. I have first 40 minutes of this out there. I captured it on my PS3, the old backwards compatible that is now dead. And so I'm going to have to replay the first hour of the game again to get back to where I was on my PS2 with the PS2 memory card. A little bit of a bummer, but a good enough game that I will do that. I suggest you check it out. I don't know how much any of these games are going for right now or how rare they are, honestly. Last but not least, we're going to talk about 13. Yes, 13 was recently re-released, and I guess a slight remaster on, I believe, the Nintendo Switch and possibly other consoles. This was a really fun game back in its day, and it is still fun today. I don't know about the remake or the remaster, but this one is just fine for me. Also supported online broadband from Ubisoft. Let's check out what the back has to say for this one. First off, it plays and is animated like you're going through a comic book. It's an interactive comic book, basically. So, without further ado, let's check out the back. Confront your shadowy past in America's darkest corridors of power. Trust no one, not even yourself, in this stylish conspiracy thriller, mixing fast-action gunplay with cutthroat infiltration. A presidential assassination conspiracy plot enshrouds the future of America in mystery. Revolutionary online and split-screen multiplayer, including the platform-exclusive power-up mode. Bang! Graphic novel presentation with pop-up windows, visual audio, and flashback graphics. Wield 15 weapons from a crossbow to a sniper rifle, plus objects such as chairs and bottles. Unique, stylish, and remarkably fluid from PSM. That's PlayStation Magazine. This game is 2-player. It supports network adapter for 6 players online, and it's from Ubisoft, or Ubisoft, or however you say it. Dargaud. It's got Dolby Surround, Pro Logic 2. This is actually a really fun game. And I like picking up chairs and random objects and knocking people out with them instead of using my gun. It's actually pretty fun. You'll see some of that in the footage here. But that covers these 5 gems for the PlayStation 2. And if you haven't checked out my other episodes, I suggest you do. I'll be putting them in cards throughout this video, and at the end of this video, you'll see some suggestions as well. Thanks so much for sticking around to the end of the video, and I highly recommend that you like and subscribe if you enjoyed this to support my channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell because I release 2 to 3 videos every week. My new schedule is 8 a.m. Thursdays and Sundays for my main videos, and then Tuesdays I also usually release something. There's also gameplay in between. All of my first 40 minutes episodes, they don't count as the Tuesday and Thursdays, so they're thrown in sprinkled in between. Thank you so much for sticking around, guys and gals, kids and cadets, friends, and people who don't like me. I really appreciate y'all, and don't forget to tune in to my Spawn collecting videos if you are interested in retro anything and everything. I hope you all have a wonderful day and evening, and stay tuned for the next one. It's time to say goodbye.
I'm in a hurry, yes, I'm in a hurry. Eyes so blurry, caught up in a flurry. In a hurry, yup, I'm in a hurry. Eyes so blurry, yes, I'm in a hurry.